Well, and outside here at the Twin Falls Reformed Church, another polling place, more on the election next.
And it's election day here in Idaho as voters from across the state went in and cast their ballots or voted absentee.
Your hometown station. You're watching KMVT News with Brittany Cooper and your weather with Derica Kay. This is KMVT News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for our news at 6 tonight. I'm Brittany Cooper. In our top story, it's primary election day across Idaho, and here in the Magic Valley, there are plenty of races to keep an eye on. Our very own hometown reporter, Brevin Monroe, is out at one of those polling places. Brevin, what do you have for us tonight?
Thank you, Brittany. I'm out here at the Twin Falls Reformed Church, where is one of the many polling places here in Twin Falls County. Folks have been coming in and out of here the last hour. It is really picked up, as I suspected. After those work hours, people are coming in. A lot more people, actually. Families as well, which I am not used to seeing tiny little kids here at voting. But of course, whenever you get a sticker, I mean, you're gonna bring out the kids, of course. And today, now, in terms of the races that we're seeing here on Election Day, all the races here that you can vote for in Twin Falls County are actually going to be contested. So there's plenty of reason to come out here, support your candidate, give them your vote for this primary, because of course these primaries are huge indicators of what's going to maybe happen in the general election out in November. Now, in terms of these primaries, obviously nobody's winning their position tonight or anything like that, but with primaries, this is, again, like I said, it's going to be more of a nomination type of thing. So if you're winning your primary, you are going to be receiving your party nomination, which is also going to help you move forward into this. Also, in terms of, I've already mentioned the turnout, I've already mentioned everything else. The poll workers on the inside, they have been busy at work all day today. They still have quite a bit of work to do yet tonight in terms of counting, but again, they won't have to start worrying about that until 8 o'clock when the polls close. However, if you are in line before that, you will be allowed to vote, but nobody new will be accepted in line after 8 o'clock. And for your local polling place, you can look online, vote.org. And for all your other election things, we are going to be having that here on KMVT. Brittany, back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Broden, for all that valuable information. Well, like he said, today is the day to cast your ballot for some very important races statewide. Voting for sheriff, county commissioners, legislature, schools, and fire districts can all be found on the ballot. Polls will be open until 8 this evening. The best way, make it fast and smooth, is to review your ballot before you go to the polls. Those can be found on your county clerk's website. And even though a statewide voter guide did not pass this session, there's still a resource from the Secretary of State.
One of the best resources that we have for this election is to visit voteidaho.gov. That is the official state website where you can find all of your voting information. So if you need to find your polling place, it's the best place to go look up your polling place, know where you're going to head to vote. There is not an official state voter guide, but we have voting resources there.
If you requested an absentee ballot earlier but did not turn it in, you can still vote in today's primary election. Just go ahead and bring that ballot to the polling location. And if you need to register to vote as well, that's also possible.
If you need to register to vote, one of the great things about Idaho is you can register on election day. So say you've moved here or you moved since the last time you voted, bring a photo ID, bring proof of residence, and you can register at the polls. Also, it's worth noting, we do ask for a photo ID for anybody who's going to be voting today. So bring your driver's license, head to your local polling place, and make sure you participate in this very important election.
Stay right here with KMVT as we bring results all night long, and past coverage, including issues and interviews, can be found digitally on our website at KMVT.com and the KMVT mobile app.
Now, your KMVT First Forecast with Derica Kay.
Well, good afternoon, Southern Idaho. Right now it's 6:03. Taking a look at our radar, over the last couple of hours, we did start receiving some cloud coverage over in Boise, and now it's heading into Mount Home. And it looks like it's starting to head towards Shoshone as well as Twin Falls, along with some rain. Now, as far as what to expect for tonight, expect those temperatures to drop into the 40s for the Wood River Valley, Magic Valley, as well as the Mini-Cassia region. Expect those clouds to stick around throughout the middle of the night as well, and expect some rain throughout the middle of the night and going into Wednesday morning. As you can see, it will be cloudy on Wednesday too. Now, as far as what to look forward to overall for Tomorrow, we're going to start the temperatures off at 50 degrees with 11 miles per hour wind speed, so make sure you guys wear a jacket. But as we head into the evening, we're going to hit those high 50s, so it won't be as cold as it will start out in the beginning of the day. It will get a little bit warmer. However, I would recommend to wear a jacket, a hoodie, and carry an umbrella because we will have some chances of rain here and there for tomorrow. Brittany, back to you.
All right, thank you. The Biden administration is following through with a promise to take care of U.S. military veterans. The White House announced today that more than 1 million claims have been approved through the PACT Act. The law passed in 2022 that gave veterans expanded access to health benefits and compensation following exposure to toxic burn pits. More than 880,000 veterans are currently receiving disability benefits through the PACT Act across the entire country. Now, the act has also created $5.7 billion in earned benefits for veterans, and more than 5 million veterans have received free screenings for toxic exposure through the law. Josh Jacobs, Undersecretary for Benefits at the VA, says there's still a lot more work to be done.
We're trying to connect all veterans and survivors who may be eligible for the PACT Act with their earned benefits. We're going to call, text, email, hold events, and do everything we can to encourage veterans and survivors to file those claims. We're going to continue producing claims decisions and granting benefits as quickly and accurately and equitably as we can.
Now, of the states, Texas has the highest number of claims granted at a little more than 110,000, followed closely by Florida at just over 87,000, and California with 74,000 claims.
A group of pediatricians hits Capitol Hill pushing for gun reform.
And here's a look at those current temperatures here in the Magic Valley and Sun Valley. Right now we are in the 60s, and then some areas in the Sun Valley are in the 50s. I'll have more updates on today's forecast and tonight as well in a few seconds.
Live from KMVT, your hometown station. This is KMVT News at 6.
Doctors, senators, and mass shooting survivors all stood in front of the U.S. Capitol today to call for gun reform in the United States. This comes ahead of the anniversary of the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, which left 19 students dead. KMVT Washington News Bureau's correspondent Brendan Cullerton shares what advocates are looking for.
Gun violence is now the leading cause of death for children in America. A group of pediatricians says that's unacceptable, and they're pushing for changes. Pediatrician Emily Lieberman was trying to enjoy a 4th of July parade in 2022 when a mass shooting terrorized the Chicago suburb of Highland Park.
Instead of kids with flags and candy, our town was littered with the blood of our neighbors, human bodies, and shreds of vital organs.
Lieberman is part of the advocacy group On Call for Kids, a group of pediatricians trying to prevent gun violence toward children.
I've seen unintentional shootings cause traumatic brain and spinal cord injuries. The child who will never walk again because a sibling found an unsecured gun in their house and accidentally shot him. The teenager who tried to end their life with a gunshot to the head and lost the ability to communicate or eat.
Senator Dick Durbin joined the advocates who are pushing for universal background checks, a ban on semi-automatic assault-style weapons, and increasing standards for weapon storage.
There's a constant in America, and one that I'm very embarrassed to say, we are allowed to transpire and to exist for too long a period of time, and that is gun violence, wanton gun violence.
Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy says gun violence stunts progress for children in high-crime areas, making them afraid to go outside after class.
For kids who grow up in neighborhoods with high rates of violence, the school is the safe place. It's outside the school that they worry about.
The reforms pushed by On Call for Kids have not gained much traction with Republicans. In Washington, I'm Brendan Cullerton.
Coming up, the weather is warming up and you and your family might be feeling adventurous. Still ahead, one of Southern Idaho's most popular attractions is only a short drive away.
And here's a closer look for tonight's forecast. As you can see, it's going to get cloudy starting around 9 o'clock. Expect some chances of rain between 10 and 5 a.m. I'll have more updates on tonight and tomorrow's forecast after the break.
And now, your KMVT hometown forecast with Derica Kay.
Well, welcome back from the break. We're going to take another look at the current temperatures here in the Magic Valley. Right now in Twin Falls is 65 degrees, 64 in Jerome, 63 right there in Rupert. Same thing for Burley. Over here in Gooding is 65 degrees and 68 in Hagerman, so it is a little bit warmer. 65 right there in Buell, 69 in Mountain Home, and even 59 right there in Fairfield, way up there near Sun Valley. Now, as far as what to expect on our radar over the last couple of hours, this is the activity that has been happening. As you can see right behind me, let me step out the way. There is still some clouds rolling out of Boise, and they're now all the way into Mountain Home since the last time we've seen this radar, and they're slowly making their way towards Shoshone as well as Twin Falls. And it looks like Boise is experiencing some rain, which means that rain is probably going to make its way to us sooner or later. So let's see if it will. Over the next 24 hours, here's what to expect. Expect those winds to push more clouds into southern Idaho, and then eventually around 4 o'clock in the morning, you're going to see that rain in Twin Falls, Shoshone, Burley, and even a little bit of snow up there in Ketchum. And even once we settle into Wednesday, it's still going to be rain lingering here and there around Twin Falls, and especially in the Burley area. And then over here in Mountain Home, as you can see, for once they're going to have clear skies while everybody else is cloudy and rainy, but it will be windy in that area for the most part. Now, as far as temperatures, let's take a look. Starting at the Wood River Valley, those temperatures are going to be in the 50s tomorrow, but the low 50s, so it is going to be a little bit cold along with those showers. So make sure you bundle up, dress warm, and stay dry. And then as far as the northern Magic Valley, expect those temperatures to be in the 60s, at least in Hagerman, but the rest of the cities we're going to be in the high 50s, and expect some light rain as well, but that very well may change as the day progresses on. The rain might get a little bit heavier. And then as far as Twin Falls County, we are going to be in the high 50s with the exception of Jackpot coming in at 64 degrees. So for once, Jackpot will be a lot warmer than the rest of the cities here in the county, and also expect some light rain for us tomorrow as well, and also through the middle of the night. And last, for the Minnecaja region, expect those temperatures to be in the 50s, and it will be in the 60s in Malta. And once again, it's going to be raining, so it will be cloudy for them and a little wet tomorrow. Now, as far as the rest of our extended forecast for the Wood River Valley, expect Thursday for the sun to pop back out. It still will be a little bit cloudy, but not as cloudy as it will be tomorrow. Those temperatures are also going to increase into the high 50s. Friday is going to be a little bit more warmer, coming in the 60s. Saturday and Sunday, we're going to fluctuate between the 50s and the 60s, but the sun will be shining. Monday is going to be the sunniest day to look forward to out of this extended forecast. We will have clear skies, and we will be in the high 60s. Tuesday, it'll be 75 degrees. And as far as the Magic Valley region, expect those temperatures on Thursday to be in the 60s. However, it will be windy and a little bit cloudy. Friday, it will be in the 70s, and the sun will be back out for us. For Saturday and Sunday, we'll drop back down into the mid 60s, but it'll still be typically warm, and the sun will be out. Monday and Tuesday, we'll have clear skies, and we'll be in the high 70s and 80s. So I'm looking forward to the beginning of next week. Brittany, back to you.
Yeah, the weather is great for exploring, and Shoshone is one of nature's largest known lava ice caves. Here's KMVT hometown reporter Derica Kay on her latest adventure at the ice caves.
I learned about the ice caves a while ago while passing through Shoshone in the winter. Now that the weather is breaking, the caves are finally open to the public. I did a little research before I arrived and learned that the cave is really cold, so I packed a pair of gloves, a hat, and even a coat to stay warm. Now, the cool thing about this ice cave is that it was discovered in the 1880s by a 10-year-old, and today we get to explore that cave ourselves. Let's go. Behind the entrance of the building is a path leading to the cave. My tour guide, Shane, helped lead the way while sharing some history.
Back in the 1930s, the ice cave became famous as people would come here and harvest some of the ice to utilize for their drinks at home. And before long, the state would actually harvest the ice and utilize it at the bars at the local town of Shoshone.
We descended down 80 stairs to get to the entrance. The cave was hidden behind a wooden door, and once opened, the cave was well lit.
Whoa. It's like stepping into a whole nother world.
The ice cave was created when a volcano erupted about 10,000 years ago, creating this lava tube that stretches about 3/4 of a mile underground. It stands 30 feet wide and 40 feet high and holds a ton of history, including the remains of prehistoric animals.
So the cave was discovered by Alpha Kinsey. He was a 10-year-old boy who was sent out by his family to go look for some of their lost livestock. And upon finding those livestock, he did see a cold pool of water and found a very small opening about 2 feet wide and climbed inside of this cave and discovered all of the ice frozen in the ground here.
The cave is an expansion compression of its own airflow, making it a natural refrigerator with over 20,000 tons of ice inside, varying from 8 to 30 feet in thickness.
So the dripping you're hearing there in the cave now is the subterranean stream that's flowing below the surface and above this lava tube here. It starts at the Magic Reservoir area, the Littlewood and Bigwood rivers. They meet together, creating the Lost River, and that flows and comes out at Thousand Springs and Hagerman.
The cave is 100 feet below the riverbed, and the water it accumulates from the Wood River is only a few inches deep. The water, however, doesn't benefit the cave as far as producing more ice. It only serves as a small pond.
Well, I finally made it all the way to the bottom of the ice cave. It is about 26 degrees down here, so it is pretty cold. After this point, there is no more ice, but beyond this wall of rock, the lava tube does continue to travel all the way back towards the volcano it originated from. So, if you're looking for an adventure or just a place to cool down on a hot summer day, come down to the ice caves. I'm Derica Kay, reporting from Shoshone for KMVT News.
Coming up, we have some all-conference baseball and softball selections. More on that after the break.
And now, Cole Implett with your hometown sports.
Following the end of the high school sports season, we have some all-conference teams that were announced for both softball and baseball, starting with the 4A Great Basin Conference. Over at softball, as Jerome's Autumn Allen is the player of the year. The Utah State Eastern signing had a fantastic season leading the Tigers. Twin Falls' Sydney McMurdy, a University of Minnesota Crookston signing, was named pitcher of the year. She helped Twin Falls to a third-place finish at the state tournament. And Matt Nelson, which coach of the year for Wood River, coaching the Wolverines to their first state appearance, since 2010. Let's check out some of the first team now. Mackenzie Nelson and Helly Vaughn headline the pitchers. Emma Allen joins her sister on the list as the first team catcher. Peyton Nelson at first base, Cadence Boyd at second, Cambry Beck at third, and Ori Rao at third. Molly Hodge, Elsie Summerfield, and Danny Ambrose make up the first team outfielders, and Sydney Junn takes the first team utility spot. Now over to baseball as Mountain Home's Trey Morse takes home player of the year, while Minico's Logan Mabey takes pitcher and Jared Price is coach of the year. Minico won the Great Basin title this year for the first time in over 10 years. First team pitchers include Kyler Robinson, Wesley Vincent, and Sawyer Tilley. Spencer Pease named catcher, Cooper Thompson at first, Nolan Liu at second, Paxton Twist at third, and Wyatt Salospal at shortstop. Xander Freiberg, Bryce Malke, and Owen Packov make up the outfield, and Dawson Speth takes first team at utility. Well, shifting gears to 3A, we recap the Sawtooth Central Idaho Conference selections. In softball, Kimberly's sophomore and back-to-back state champion Addie Clark is the conference MVP. She was a vital piece to the Bulldogs' repeat title, both at the plate and inside the circle. Emily Hanchey, Mallory Kelsey, Emma Chavez, and JC Calger are also representing the state champions on the all-conference list. Chavez is the lone freshman to make the all-conference team. Gooding's Maddie Morris, Mayla Durham, and Adeline Pearson on the list as conference runners-up and state qualifiers for the Senators. Buell's Jenna Ambrose and Adeline Pearson round out the list. Filer's Avery Newsom takes home the 2024 Coach of the Year with the Filer Wildcats. And finally for baseball, Kimberly's Garrett Nelson is the MVP. Jacob Cummins, Parker Strigham, and River Chadwick joined him as the Bulldogs had a good run at the state tournament. Porter Higley, Don Pierce, and Rem Higley represent Buell, while Wick Church and Xander Gonzalez represents Gooding. Rylan Browner is the lone representative from Filer. Kimberly's Tom Myers takes home Coach of the Year. For the full all-conference teams and honorable mentions, head on over to KMVT.com. Stick around, more news coming up after the break.
Well, Derica, we're really enjoying that sunshine out here. It's a little bit cooler temperatures today, but I don't think any of us mind that.
Yeah, it will be cool for the rest of the day, and it will get a little bit colder tonight. Wednesday is not looking too good either. I mean, the temperatures are going to be in the high 50s, but it will be cloudy, so it will feel a lot colder. And then Thursday is going to be super windy, so we won't get to enjoy that 61-degree weather. But Friday, I'm looking forward to it because it will be 71 degrees and sunny.
Yeah, looks like some great day for some softball around here, and you're going to have a little bit more softball tomorrow with CSI.
Yeah, they're back at it. They're going to take on #1 McLennan after they won today. So it's going to be a battle for the Golden Eagles. So we'll have that coverage coming up tomorrow night.
Have they faced them this year?
They have not.
All right, thank you for watching.